Hello everyone, Cameron here. I'm a timepiece specialist here at American Antiques and Jewelry, and today we're going to talk about the differences in quality in high-end and low-end luxury timepieces. So today we're going to break up watches into three different categories. We have the quartz low to mid-range luxury, the automatic low to mid-range luxury, and the chronograph low to mid-range luxury. For our first category here, we have quartz watches. We have a few examples here. A quartz movement is a battery-powered movement that has a little quartz crystal in it. We have anything from kind of low-end, first starting watches like a Seiko here. I mean, they're a very nice brand. This one we have for $49, but they can go up into the thousands depending on the Seiko that you're looking for. Like here we have probably the start into the luxury category of watches. We have a Movado. So they're known for their signature here with the basically no hour marker face, except for the one, I always called it a moon, or like their circular crescent at the top at 12. And then moving over here, we have a Bulova Precisionist, brand new. This watch would have been probably $400 or $500, even though it is a battery powered watch or quartz powered watch. It actually ticks like an automatic. Back here we have an Invicta. They're big, bulky watches. They also have various different ranges for their pricing and their quality as well. So this one's actually Swiss made, so the movement inside, even though it is quartz, it is Swiss made. So it's a little bit more on the expensive side when it comes to Invicta. Then over here we have two, which I consider more of the luxury brands. We have an older Bulova Accutron here. It is solid gold, so it was a nicer watch, at its time, and very similar to the Precisionist there. The Bulova had a tuning fork movement in it, so even though it's run by a battery, it's run by two little forks that vibrate really fast, and it makes it look like the second stand is constantly in motion like an automatic. Then over here, an Omega Constellation. Yes, it is quartz, but it also has 18 karat on it, and they can get expensive too, like I said. Omegas can range, they could be a couple $100 from the older ones that are like the manual wind, up to, thousands. As for the second category here, we have automatic watches. So they're run by a mechanical movement, but they have a little rotor on the inside, and I'll be able to show you on this Invicta so you can see on the inside what the movement actually looks like. They're all fairly the same on the inside, even though they're made by different manufacturers and they're made in different countries as well. So first off, we're starting out here with an Invicta like in the previous category, except this is an automatic, so it's a bigger, bulkier watch. Like I said before, it's made for basically, bigger guys, where something like the Movado in the previous category, would just be too small. Then moving over here, we have a really nice Longines. It's older. It's probably from the 60s, maybe early 70s. It's a Longines Ultra Chron. The unique thing about this watch is it beats at 10 beats per second versus the typical 8 beats per second. Like moving over here with the Tudor. So this is going to be a little bit higher than Movado when it comes to the classes of luxury watches. Tudor, interesting enough, is the little brother of Rolex, or the son of Rolex, however you want to think about it. They do have many Rolex parts on it. This is actually a Rolex case. It has a Rolex crown on it. This is actually gold, 18 karat gold. This is 18 karat gold, so is the dial. And moving down over here, we have a nice Tag Heuer automatic watch. It's got a very similar movement to what's in many Swiss automatics that we have today. Moving into the luxury brand, it's probably on, I would say, probably the same level as Tudor when it comes to quality. There's such a big range. Alrighty, so we're on to the third and final category of complicated watches. So when it comes to these, I picked out four very interesting examples here. We're starting out with a Citizen Eco Drive. So when I say complicated, I mean there's more than just the date or the day on it. Like this Eco Drive here is a chronograph, so it's got alarm, it's got a calendar in it, it's got a timer in it as well. So that makes it very interesting. Here's a nicer Seiko, as you saw earlier in the first category. Same brand, this one's built a little bit better, it's got a little more complications on it. Same thing, it's got a timer as well. Moving on to the other two, these are both mechanical. The one on my left here is going to be from the 60s. It's a nice Gallet chronograph. Interesting enough, the movement that's in here, there were two different movements put in this watch. The first one was actually a Valjoux movement that was put in the Rolex Daytona. And on my right here, we have a really interesting Aerotel. The movement on the inside is actually a Ed Hewer movement, and Ed Hewer, as you probably recognize Hewer, yes, it was the precursor to the Tag Hewer movements. But interesting enough on these two, even though they look very light and whatnot, they both have very, very good quality, very good build quality, and you can just feel it when picking it up, even when winding it. They're just higher end watches. So the difference between the three categories of watches we talked about before and these are going to be mainly the quality, the build quality, the materials used. These are just on another level. You have anything from 316L steel to 904L steel to 18 karat, different colors depending on the manufacturer, whatnot. It all comes down to quality when you think about it. I mean, we have different models as displayed here, but you have different tiers of these models. So right here you have a pretty much plain Oyster Perpetual. It's just stainless steel, nothing crazy going on. But if you were to go up another level, we have a 41 date just here, 18 karat gold, white gold bezel here. You have a date window, a little bit more complicated. And then you move over here, you have more of the sports watch when it comes to the Submariner. So it's got a date on it as well. The band on here isn't original, but it's rubber, and it's actually a very, very nice band. It contours to the case here. On this one, we have the original box, original papers with it, so that also helps too and increase the value of the timepiece. You're going to look at, basically your Rolex President here. That's a very, very well-known watch on ours. It's got a really nice 1.5 karat bezel on it, and the build quality on it's awesome. Even being old, I mean, this watch is from probably around the late 1970s, and it's still, it looks dang near brand new. This tells to how good of the build quality, how long they can last. You have a Rolex Datejust that's 18 karat. We have another Rolex Datejust that's basically from the same year as the one down there, except this one's all stainless steel. Being stainless steel, it's a lot lighter than the 18 karat one that's down there. We have a ladies Oyster Perpetual, like the one with the black dial here. This one is 18 karat and stainless steel. We have a ladies Datejust, so this one very similar to the Oyster Perpetual down there, same size, but this one has a date window. That's mainly the only complication on this one. Then moving up, it's pretty much the cream of the crop of the ladies watches. They're going to call it a ladies Datejust, but a lot of people call it a ladies President. It's got the 18 karat band, 18 karat case, 18 karat bezel, and so on. It's going to look very similar to the President and the Datejust that we showed you a little bit earlier, and it's got a very similar band, just a lot thinner, very small. Here, this is basically the cream of the crop, one of the highest brands when it comes to luxury watches. This is a Patek Philippe Traveler Time, so it's a dual time GMT. Really interesting thing about this Patek, like the Invicta we showed you earlier, this one's made out of, this one's got an exhibition window on the back, so you can see the movement on the inside. And unlike the Invicta we showed you earlier, this is actually a manual wind, so you're gonna have to wind it every day, unlike the Invicta with the rotor as you saw earlier. It's basically a work of art. There is a ton of hours into this watch. They're hand put together. Very, very nice timepiece, and this one I believe is from the either early 2000s, late 90s, around there. So even from then, I mean, the timepiece looks stunning on this nice alligator band. It's got a nice 18 karat clasp here. It's just overall a beautiful timepiece. Now that you know the different categories of watches, you can use that knowledge to find the right fit watch for you. And we at American Antiques and Jewelry would love to help you with it.